So yes, so Ashwathama belongs to which category? Here there are 6, right? An enemy who sets the fire to the house. Kauravas did it, right? Administers the poison. Again, with the Bhima, they try to do it. Attacks all of a sudden with deadly weapons. Yes, many times. But in our current context, this is the point due to which Ashwathama belongs to the aggressor category. They were sleeping. The sons of the Draupadi were sleeping. And then they were attacked suddenly. And then plunders wealth of or subs agriculture fields. Yes. Once again, Kauravas did it. Or entice one's wife is called an aggressor. And once again, Kauravas did all, right? Even more than that. So that is the reason that the Lord wanted to like annihilate them during the Kurukshetra war. So here it is very much as per the scripture. If Pandavas would have followed the same, and it is very clearly mentioning there are no exceptions or condition apply here. Even though such an aggressor, he be a Brahmana, then also he can be killed. Okay, so nowadays what we see, because Srila Prabhupada mentions this point in many places, a leader should not always be just merciful, right? Because he has to set an example. If the leader is always merciful, then people who are not pious will always try to take the advantage of that. And this is what has been happening in the case of democracy. Okay, we give so much time for everything, and then just proving ourselves that we cannot do anything. We are seeing it practically, right? There are many good reasons that we should not do, but when it comes to the level of a leader who has to set an example, no. Whenever mercy is required, mercy must be shown. What is the real mercy? The real mercy is for the soul. If the leader is not setting an example that the people should uplift themselves closer to the breaking of cycle of birth and death, everything else is not a merciful. It is just a show of mercy. It is not a mercy. If in the name of making people happy, if you are giving more and more opening bars and butcher houses and allowing them, then it's not mercy. It is even putting the people more into problem. Okay, once this is a small story. I don't remember full, but it will give the good context. When we went to Sri Rangam recently, we heard it there. So it was during Ramanujacharya time. So there, one person was there who was very proud, and nobody could defeat him in the scholarly arguments. And then the guru of Ramanujacharya, okay, he goes into that assembly, and he asks a question to that person, and he says, the leader, the king of this place is not the most pious person, and you have to disprove this statement. And then everybody was shocked, because that king was actually very pious and he had a great respect for everyone. Okay, but now he had to be disproved. And when I'm just missing the names because it has been some time. So, but when the person could not answer, okay, then the answer given was, because the sins which are performed by the public, the king gets 1/6 of that. Okay, so even though yes, the king is very pious, but because people, all of them are not pious, and their sins comes 1/6 to them. So that's why he's not the most pious one in the kingdom. So why we are discussing that again as an example? Because we must be following the rules and set an example. Okay, and here one good news is also there, because when we preach someone, and someone tries to take the Krishna consciousness more seriously, then also Lord is merciful, and then we get 1/6. I heard it very recently. 1/6 of the benefit we also get as a commission. Okay, so this is one reason. Like, if we are not able to practice it the way that we want it to be, but if we are still able to engage ourselves somehow in preaching, then also our account continues. Okay, so
Hari bol, Prabhuji, Hari bol.
so, yes, there is always a hope. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Okay, so we go to the next verse now. So scene is very clear to us, right? Dronacharya, his son, right? This is how the name of the chapter is called, right? Dronacharya's son is punished. So Ashwatthama has to be punished. All the reasons is there, and whole situation is in the favor of killing him. Yes. Next, let me request. Deval Mataji, can you please read?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranam.
Yes, Mataji.
17th again. Iti priyam valgu vichitra jalpaihi sasantvayitva chitamitra sutah anvadravadamshita ugradhanva kapidvajo guruputram rathena. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna, who is guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver, thus satisfied the dear lady by such statements. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Ashwathama, the son of his martial teacher. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranam. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So he is guided by the Lord. Okay. So whatever he's doing, the Lord is confirming that, yes, you can go ahead. So here comes one very interesting point. Like, I will just connect with because it is Bhagavad Gita marathon going on, right? So in Bhagavad Gita, towards the end, Lord says that whatever I had, I have told you now. And then Arjuna says that, fine, I understood it now. And then I'll fight. And then a shloka after that, 18.66. Then the Lord says, Sarva dharmani parityajya, right? You give up everything. Okay. And then you take my shelter and I will deliver you from all the sins, and don't fear. Masuchaha. So what is the duty of the Kshatriya? To fight. And Arjuna did not want to fight in the beginning. Then the Lord explained the whole Bhagavad Gita. And towards the end, Lord convinced that you should be fighting, you should be doing your duties. And Arjuna has agreed now. And then at the end, Lord is telling again, give up all your religion. If religion had to be given up, then Arjuna was giving up in the beginning itself. Right? He did not want to fight. First chapter is for this only. I don't want to fight. There are different reasons. It will be giving me sinful reactions and how I will enjoy my kingdom, and then the Varna Shankara, and so many reasons he is giving. And he did not want to follow the religion, right? And now after whole Bhagavad Gita is over, and now Krishna is telling, you give up your religion. So in a way, it sounds a bit contradictory, right? If the purpose was to give up the religion, Arjuna was doing it right before Bhagavad Gita actual recitation started. Lord started speaking from the second chapter onwards. So how do we understand these two extremes? Is because when we say religion is simply the tag, right? The religion is meant to fulfill the aim of spirituality. Meaning what? Meaning, if the religion is taking us closer to the Lord, then yes, it is spirituality, and then we must do it. Now, I'm just taking another small example. A person was passing by and he saw two workers. Those two workers were one was digging the earth, and the other was filling the earth, filling the soil back, right? So, and the person who was passing by, he was surprised. Why are they doing it? And then when he asked, like, why one is digging and another is refilling it, then they said, you know what? We were 3 people who were assigned for that site, and today one of our colleague, he is on leave, and the 3 duties that were assigned to us was, one will dig the earth, other will fill the soil back, and the third person today who is on leave today, he had to put the seed, because we are on a mission of planting more and more trees. Because he has taken leave, so we have to do our work. So we are doing our work. So the main essence why we are doing our activity, that was missing. So that is how a religion becomes, if it is not taking us closer to the Lord. And that religion, the Lord is telling in 18.66, you give up them. Now what Arjuna is going to do, okay, is having even higher understanding. Okay, outwardly he may look like he is killing people of other side, and anything can be said about that. But now he is doing it as per the will of the Lord. Okay, now the will of the Lord may not be as we grow. Okay, then with the mercy of our acharyas and the parampara, as we grow, we develop even a higher understanding, and then the connection becomes even the unsaid words which we can realize, right? Not by any mental speculation, but only after having the sufficient mercy of our Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas. Then there is something above the words, and that is what is going to happen in the following verses of this chapter that we are going to see. Because Lord is telling, you kill. Okay. Now, yes, we are on the 18th verse. Let me now request Archana Mataji to please read the 18th verse.
Hare Krishna. Pranam Prabhu. Tam abadantam sa vilakshya durat kumaraho dignamanaradena paradhavad prana paripsururyam yavad brahmam rudra bhayat vedaka. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ashwatthama, the murderer of the princess, seeing from great distance Arjuna coming at him with great speed, fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva.
Yes. Yeah, please continue, Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to the reading matter, either Ka or Arka, there are 2 references in the Puranas. Ka means Brahma, who once became allured by his daughter and began to follow her, which infuriated Shiva, who attacked Brahma with his trident. Brahmaji fled in fear of his life. As far as Arka is concerned, there is a reference in the Vamana Purana. There was a demon by name Vidyumnali, who was gifted with a glowing golden airplane which traveled to the back of the sun, and light disappeared because of the glowing effulgence of this plane. Thus the sun god became angry, and with his virulent rays he melted the plane. This enraged Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva then attacked the sun god, who fled away and at last fell down at Kashi, Varanasi, and the place became famous as Lolarka. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. I'm not able to mute, but Kusumlata Mataji, can you please mute yourself? I'm getting some sound from there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. So now we see Ashwatthama is seeing Arjuna coming, and he's afraid of his life, and then he's running. The example given here was Lord Brahma, running away from Shiva. So this incident is very sensitive, okay, and we must not dare to comment anything, because Lord Brahma, he is the one who, before he started the creation, okay, before he started the creation, he told the Lord, see Lord, you are assigning me a duty that I should be doing the creation, and if I do the creation, I should not be puffed up with my work. So you have to bless me so that I'm never puffed up. And still the Brahma Vimohan Leela also happened, right? And this also happened. So like when the Lord had blessed him that yes, you still go ahead with the creation, and Mother Saraswati incident, right? That is also one of the pastime in the creation itself. So we should be very sensitive, and then we should take it as the plan of the Lord, because yeah, of course it is the plan of the Lord. And then Brahma was not affected, even though he ran behind Mother Saraswati. Yes, true, but he was not affected. And then it is further mentioned, it will come into the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that Brahma gave up his life. And then Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, by giving up the thought is as good as giving up the life. Okay? So we should not take it literally that he had to leave his body and go, right? So so these are the great, I mean, we are part of the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. So he's our founder Acharya. So we may not be able to understand the things, because our consciousness is not at the higher level. But yes, we must at least regard the fact that he is the one with whom the Lord shook the hands, and then he did the tapasya and austerity when no one was around, and whatever we are, secondary creator is Brahmaji. Yes, and including this laptop and the internet and the Zoom. Yes, Brahmaji has a role in that. So if we cannot be grateful to Brahmaji for all those things that he has given to us, because of which we are able to practice, we don't have much right to question and like unnecessarily put ourselves into, right, a non-favorable condition without going into the much depth and reality. So this is my only point I wanted to share here. Okay, we go to the next verse now. And I see the hand of Nandita Mataji. Can you please read the 19th verse, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam. Yada sharanam atmanam aikshata shrantavajinam astram brahma shiromene atmatranam dvijatmajaha. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. When the son of the Brahmana Ashwatthama saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, nuclear weapon. Purport: in the ultimate issue only, when there is no alternative, the nuclear weapon called the Brahmastra is applied. The word Dvijatmajaha is significant here because Ashwatthama, although the son of Dronacharya, was not exactly a qualified Brahmana. The most intelligent man is called a Brahmana, and it is not a hereditary title. Ashwatthama was also formerly called the Brahmabandhu, or the friend of a Brahmana. Being a friend of a Brahmana does not mean that one is a Brahmana by qualification. A friend or son of a Brahmana, when fully qualified, can be called a Brahmana and not otherwise. Since Ashwatthama's decision is immature, he is purposely called herein the son of a Brahmana. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Another very beautiful purport. Okay, this also answers the title of this question we discussed in the beginning. The son of Drona punished. So Ashwatthama was also formerly called Brahmabandhu, or a friend of a Brahmana. So basically, anyone in relation to a Brahmana who is not the Brahmana by qualities is called Brahma Bandhu. So yes, materially, Ashwatthama was the son of Dronacharya, but he was not a Brahmana. So this signifies that Ashwatthama was a Brahma Bandhu. Okay, and because he was how he was Brahma Bandhu, because he was son of Dronacharya. So this is why it is called like son of Drona, who is not a Brahmana, was punished. And just being the son is not sufficient, okay, to be qualified as a Brahmana. We have to earn the Brahmanical qualities to be actually considered as a Brahmana. Okay, we are going to the very nice further points further. So maybe we'll take them as the discussion of the purpose only. Yes. Archana Mataji, you want to take 20th shloka? 20.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Atopaspृश्य सलिलं सन्दते तत्समाहितः अजानन् अपि संहारं प्राणाकृच्च उपस्थिते. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Since his life was in danger, he touched water in sanctity and concentrated upon the chanting of the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons, although he did not know how to withdraw such weapons. Purport: the subtle forms of material activities are finer than the grosser methods of material manipulation. Such subtle forms of material activities are effected through purification of sound. The same method is adopted here by chanting hymns to act as nuclear weapons. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Pranam.
So to invoke the Brahmastra, Ashwatthama had to touch the water and sanctify it, and then he could invoke the Brahmastra. And this Brahmastra can annihilate the whole world. And because it was so fine, unlike the nuclear weapons, it will be further explained. Nuclear weapons means no direction. Anything and everything around that will be destroyed. Unlike them, the Brahmastra could be targeted. If there are 200 people in a party and in a different circles, right? And the person who is innermost, and if he is targeted, the Brahmastra will not touch the remaining 199 people. It will just go and hit only the target. That is how fine this Brahmastra was. So one thing to be taken for us here is, see, to invoke the Brahmastra, we need to be aware of the mantra. We need to be even, yes, Ashwatthama was a Brahma Bandhu, but his father was Dronacharya. So he learned it from Dronacharya. And then he did not know, there are many conditions also, right? He did not know how to withdraw it also. So he learned something called Brahmastra, but not fully, right? 50% only, just to invoke that. No way to take it back. Now, what is the effect of that? It can annihilate the whole world if required to be. But now we have got even a bigger Brahmastra, right? These nuclear weapons are almost every country is having nowadays, and that can only ruin the world. That cannot create anything constructive. The Brahmastra plus, the bigger Brahmastra that we have got now is in the form of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because for invoking this Brahmastra, all we need is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we have got that. Okay, there are no rules and regulations. Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Saktis, right? We can do it anytime. Even if we are lower than anybody else, we can still do it. But the effect is, we have discussed it in multiple points, that the whole world put together, they cannot perform so much of sins, right? So much sins that can be delivered just by reciting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra once. So because why I'm just like sharing it in more detail, because as a child, when we heard about Brahmastra, we were very curious, and then like we were thinking, what a great power, right? Why I don't have that? And then many such thoughts would have come in our mind as well, that something great it was, and then how do we learn that and all the things. But now it's like a open book. We have got the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. All we need is to follow that more and more sincerely. And then Mahaprabhu is saying, Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, right? Our favorite shloka, 3.33.7. If a person is chanting the Hare Krishna once, right? Then it is a proof that such a person has performed all the kinds of austerities. He has taken bath in all the holy rivers, and he was or Aryan, right? Aryan means most civilized person. And then anything that he had to do, he has read all the scriptures. So it is a proof that the person has done it already. Right? So we being able to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we have not earned it, but it has been given to us. And we should not take it lightly, because we cannot be more unfortunate. Yes, Ashwathama was very unfortunate son of Dronacharya. He had a very easy access to become a Brahmana, right? He should have just followed what his father had taught, but he did not do it. We all have this question, and we can see it very clearly. Ashwatthama, very unfortunate, right? But then the message to be learned here is we cannot be so much unfortunate now. We have got a bigger astra than Ashwatthama. And if we do not take the opportunity and the full advantage of that, we are even bigger unfortunate. Okay. And Ashwatthama still is going to become one of the discussions, and I think it is mentioned also. I was hearing a lecture in Sridham Vrindavan recently. So there it was mentioned that Ashwatthama is going to become next Indra, if I'm correct. So, and then I asked why, because he has done such a big mistake. So it was mentioned that because the repentance has a lot of power, and he repented for his mistake, right? So why not we prevent the problem before we get into, right? Why should we wait for the time when we have to do the repentance, when we are alive and we can do the chanting? Okay. So I request now, I don't see any hand. Can I?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry to disturb you. What
Yes,
is the
Mataji.
sloka reference you said in Bhagavad Gita about the Mahamantra?
3.33.7, Mataji. I'll type on the chat. It is Srimad Bhagavatam, it is.
3 point?
SB 3.33.7.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. So, Prabhuji, you will read Prabhu next sloka, 21.
Yes, please. Hare Krishna Mataji. I will read Prabhuji.
Yes, okay.
ततः प्रदुक्षितं तेजः प्राच्चानदं सर्वतो दिशं प्राणपादम् अभिप्रेक्षया विष्णूनां जष्णुरुवाचः. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Thereupon a glaring light spread in all directions. It was of years that Arjuna thought his own life in danger, and so he began to address Lord Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, yes, it's a almost one-liner translation, but something great to learn from here. Okay. When Arjuna found his own life was in danger, then like he did not, he knew he had the Brahmastra himself, right? And then he could have done so many things, but what did he do? He began to address Lord Shri Krishna. So we have one in the laptop or in the mobile phone, not in mobile phone, sorry. In the computer, laptop, we have in the keyboard, there is a key called F1 key. F1 means help. Okay. So whichever computer application we are accessing, if we press this F1 key, then this F1 key will bring us all the details required to know about that application. F1 is also called like number one, like go-to person, whom we can approach directly without any hesitation, and he will always be having solution for us. Such a person is called F1 person, right? Go-to person. So this is one very important takeaway for us, that we may be into very difficult or very good or any condition in the life, but if our Krishna is the F1 key in our heart, then we are always in the safer side. Okay. Yes. So Kusumlata Maraji, I see your hand. You
Yes,
want to
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Shall I
recite the
read?
verse? Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Please. Yes, Mataji.
Arjun Uvacha Krishna Krishna Mahabahu Bhavatanam Bhayankara Tvameko Dahamana Nama Paumo Asi Sansrite. Sorry, Prabhuji.
No, that's fine, Mataji. Please continue. Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjun said, "O my Lord, Shri Krishna, you are the Almighty Personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only." Purport: Arjun was aware of the transcendental qualities of Lord Shri Krishna as he had already experienced them during the Kurukshetra war in which both of them were present. Therefore, Arjun's version of Lord Krishna is authoritative. Krishna is almighty and is speciality the cause of fearlessness for the devotees. A devotee of the Lord is always fearless because of the protection given by the Lord. Material existence is something like a blazing fire in the forest, which can be extinguished by the mercy of the Lord Shri Krishna. The spiritual master is the mercy representative of the Lord. Therefore, a person burning in the flames of the material existence may receive the rains of mercy of the Lord through the transparent medium of the self realized spiritual master. The spiritual master, by his words, can penetrate into the heart of the suffering person and inject knowledge transcendental, which alone can extinguish the fire of material existence. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So now a small quiz time. Which shloka, and let me give a clue, which we recite almost every day, is very close to this purport. Almost all of us recites that verse.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Shiksha Ashtaka.
Samsaradavam.
Yes. Second one is correct. Correct. Yes. Because how it is more closer? Because yes. Mataji, you want to explain? Samsaradava? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
So, one is Sakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastra. In that they say all the Shastras say spiritual. That one also we can say. And Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasado. In that also we can say, if there is mercy of spiritual master, we can flourish. Or if there is no mercy of spiritual master, we cannot. Nakadiku topi, we will not have any gati. That comes. So that is familiar to this Prabhuji.
Very cool. Very nice. Very nice, Mataji. Yes. And the first,
Spiritual master delivers the materially afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. That is
yes,
the translation of first line.
yes, correct, Mataji. So that is even more closer because there is a description of the forest fire, right? Samsara Dava Anal. So Anal means that fire, forest fire. So we don't know from where the forest fire has come. And then spiritual master is the representative of the Lord. So there were many points which were very, very close to the first verse of the Guru Ashtam that we did in the morning. So yes, now what we learn from here is that when we hear, right, when we are reading the Srila Prabhupada's purport, we are hearing from Srila Prabhupada alone. Okay, and now the point here is we should hear from multiple sources. There is no problem. Okay, but we must have everyday relation with Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master. If we are not hearing or reading Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master, and just hearing some other person because he gives us nice, interesting points, and it is well, it is okay. It is a very sensitive point, and we have to take it in the right spirit. Okay, there is no harm in getting inspired from anyone. Okay, so if we are reading or hearing someone else other than spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada, I'm not saying you or we should stop that, but those things should not be done at the cost of hearing and reading Srila Prabhupada. I'm not putting anyone lower. I'm just trying to bring, okay, the position of spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada higher. That is my only takeaway. So that is why I'm again and again like repeating this point. We must have everyday relation with our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, both. Whomever else we are hearing or reading can be done, not a problem, most welcome, but not at the cost of not having the relation with Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master. Because spiritual master is the mercy representative of the Lord. Okay, Srila Prabhupada is our preeminent Siksha Guru in ISKCON. So Srila Prabhupada has unique relation with everyone, whoever is practicing. So, and today we are here because of Srila Prabhupada. So these two things must be, this shows how much serious we are into our Krishna consciousness. A very plain, very simple statement. Anything else can be done, but not at the cost of not hearing. Okay, because the kind of relation when we hear from these two sources, the points that goes much deeper into our heart, and they have a even long-lasting effect. Other things we may like, okay, but it will in general it will not go that deep as it should be. So
Prabhuji, that's why we have to do Guru Vandana every day, no, for Srila
yes.
Prabhupada ji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. And to answer that point, Mataji, further, one devotee, his name was Vishal, and then he was very close to Srila Prabhupada. I'm not sure if we have discussed it previously. Then Vishal Prabhu was so close to Srila Prabhupada that no one else could approach Srila Prabhupada as freely as Vishal Prabhu. And even he will go, and Prabhupada is honoring the prasadam, and he can take something from Srila Prabhupada's plate and he can eat. And Prabhupada will not mind. And in whole ISKCON, nobody had this authority. Because the kind of relation that Vishal Prabhu had with Srila Prabhupada was like a child and the son. and was very dear. So that Vishal Prabhu was once glorifying Srila Prabhupada, that Jai Srila Prabhupada, and there was some pit full of water, right? In the Vrindavana earlier times, in the temple, there was no hard floor with cement and all, right? So there was muddy water that was filled because of rain. And when Vishal Prabhu was glorifying Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada did not like that. He said, I'm not happy when you are just saying Jai Srila Prabhupada when there are services around. So you better you don't say me, don't sing the Samsara Dava, don't sing Guru Ashtakam, Guru Vandana, Guru Arti, don't do anything. But if you are reading my books, there is a real way we are glorifying the Srila Prabhupada. Am I able to connect the points, Mataji? Just saying Jai Srila Prabhupada and giving Guru, reciting Guru Ashtakam is not sufficient. Yes, we can do them, but once again, not at the cost of not reading the books. Reading the book is most important.
Yes, Prabhuji, understood.
Right? Okay. So we are done with respect to today's science shlokas. If any Prabhuji or Mataji have any comments or question or feedback, please. We have some time. 3 minutes are there. We can discuss.
Prabhuji, one small question, Prabhuji.
Yes, please, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So many verses you covered today. Normally it's only 3 or 4, but I think today we covered just 22. Prabhuji, you told one story in the 17th sloka, right? The 17th sloka, you told that 2 workers, one person was passing by, 2 workers,
Yes.
One was soiling it and one was digging, and the third person putting seed, right? Like, I didn't understand that example, Prabhuji.
Okay. So that we were discussing, Mataji, the difference between religion and spirituality. So, and why were we discussing that? Because
no, I didn't understand like what activity we are doing.
Okay. So
you explained something.
Yes. So now that day there were supposed to be 3 people who should be doing these 3 activities that you told.
One person was on leave.
One person was on leave, and that person's work was to put the seeds. When the first person is digging, right? Second person should come and put the seeds, and then the third person should put the soil back. Okay, because this person whose work was to put the seeds was on leave. These remaining 2 people were still doing their work.
Their own work they were doing.
Their own work only. Just digging the soil and putting it back. So that does not solve the purpose, right? Because the whole essence of whole activity was to put a seed so that it becomes a plant later.
Okay. So we are also like that. That example is connecting to our practical life, Prabhuji, or
if we are just doing the things mechanically without actually understanding their importance, then yes, we are also doing something similar. There is a bigger fruit that can come if we do it with the right spirit and right understanding. But we are missing that opportunity by not doing it with that much sincerity.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so thank you so much, Prabhuji and Matajis, for your precious time. And kindly forgive me for any mistake or if I said something which you did not like. Okay, so I seek your forgiveness for that. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhu bhayavacha patita nam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavin ki jai. Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande. Hare Krishna. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.